Hello everyone. Till now, we have done lots of in the name of basic algebra, like inequations containing absolute value and rational inequations, their solution sets, and in the process, we have learned quite new terms also. Now, my next topic could be irrational inequations. And I'm sure most of you must be thinking that when we started with rational inequations, then do we have some inequations which are called irrational inequations also? Yes, we do have. Like all those irrational inequations in which square root appears. Now, square root is something which you have already learned somewhere. You may have some wrong concepts also, like people say square root means if it is square root of 49, it could be plus and minus 7, which could be wrong. So in this session, we would insist on certain things like square root is a non-negative quantity. I write square root of x square and my answer I write as absolute value of x. And absolute value of x is minus x if x less than 0, that all know. And it is x when x is non-negative. Now, if you look at the definition, you will realize that inside square root, I have written x square, which is itself a non-negative quantity. And I write its answer as absolute value of x, which is again a non-negative quantity. So, x square is non-negative quantity and absolute value of x is also a non-negative quantity. So, we realize that quantity of which we find square root has to be non-negative, and answer for square root is also a non-negative quantity. I am repeating it again and again. Reason that these are the two things which you have to use when we start solving irrational inequations. So let us start with some illustration. My first illustration is under root 7x minus 6 less than x. And we are looking for least integer x that satisfies this inequation. Now, when I look at this inequation, instead of jumping immediately that since it has square root in it, I will square on two sides. I will not do that. My first suggestion or advice to you would be that we look for the feasible region, because left hand side has square root of 7x minus 6. That 7x minus 6 can be negative also for certain values of x. We will have to put this condition that 7x minus 6 is a non-negative quantity, and a non-negative quantity can be less than a positive quantity only. So x will have to be positive. So we have two conditions with us, that 7x minus 6 is non-negative and x positive. So we simplify this and we get x greater or equal to 6 by 7. So our feasible region is close 6 by 7 to infinity. We move to next and I realize that now I'm free to square. But if I'm squaring, all those steps which I will be writing or taking, they would be valid only for values which are greater than or equal to 6 by 7. So 7x minus 6 less than x square, you simplify usual. Then x square minus 7x plus 6 greater than 0 you get, which is a rational inequation. We have already done it. We factorize and we realize that we will have to see what are the critical points. Critical points are nothing but 1 and 6. So x less than 1 or x greater than 6 would be the solution set. But do we claim this is solution set? We will have to see, because we have not yet brought that feasible region. I mark 6 by 7, I mark 1, I mark 6 also, and then I realize that I am saying x less than 1. X less than 1 but greater than 6 by 7. And then x greater than 6 will come in the solution set part. So between 1 and 6, no value to be taken. Before 6 by 7, no value to be taken. So I get my solution set as 6 by 7 to 1 and then union 6 to infinity. But question is not regarding solution set. Question is regarding least integer x. So obviously least integer x is nothing but 7. So correct answer is C. So I hope you could gather that to solve irrational inequation, we have taken help of nothing but the rational one only. And then I proceed to the next one. Next one is x minus 1 less than square root of x square plus 3x minus 10. When I look at this, I realize that left hand side x minus 1 can be negative also. So right now we do not have any condition on x minus 1. But condition on x square plus 3x minus 10 will have to be put. and that has to be non-negative. We factorize it, we get x plus 5, x minus 2 greater or equal to 0, and then usual one, minus 5 would be a critical point, 2 would be a critical point, x less or equal to minus 5 or x greater or equal to 2, that would be the feasible region. I realize that condition on x, I need not put as such because x minus 1 can be anything I am saying. Now, if x is less than 1, I realize that left hand side will become negative. And if I mark 1, I will realize that even if x less than 1 is making the given inequation a true statement, but there is no value of x which is between minus 5 and 1. So even if I say x less than 1 makes inequation a true statement, values which appear between minus 5 and 1, they are not going to be considered. So any x which is less than or equal to minus 5, that would come under the solution set part. So at least some values we have removed by taking feasible region. Then I have arrived at one part that x less or equal to minus 5, and now I can put condition that x greater than 1. But then thing is, there is no value between 1 and 2 in the feasible region. So I start with x greater or equal to 2. Now if x is greater or equal to 2, then left hand side x minus 1 is surely positive. A positive quantity less than square root, that means another positive quantity. I am free to square on two sides. I square on two sides and I get nothing but 5x greater than 11 on simplification. So that will lead to x greater than 11 by 5. Now where does 11 by 5 lie? Actually it is beyond 2. So if I bring 1 and 2 together, I will get solution set as minus infinity to minus 5 close, union 11 by 5 to infinity. So my final answer is D. So in these two small illustrations, we have understood that how do we solve irrational inequations. Care what we have to take is quantity of which we take square, root, that has to be a non-negative quantity, and answer for square root also to be taken as a non-negative quantity. So in all, in that basic algebra part, we have learned lots of things, and please remember that these ideas are to be used in following chapters wherever they occur. So keep revising. Stay tuned. We will come with next chapter. Till then, bye. Thank you.